Nani here. Welcome back to my channel. You can call me Nani. I just dropped baby girl off at work. Oh, hold on, I forgot to adjust my mirrors. And headed back home because I wanted to do a video from my YouTube studio or what I also refer to as my apartment. I might need to do some redecorating though, like jazz it up or something. I don't know, put some feather boas in the back, add some color or something. But is everything right? Okay. Do I need to be a little closer? Just bear with me here. I just got to make sure. I might need to be a little bit closer. Okay. So, there were a couple videos that I wanted to try to film today. One was going to be, I touched on it a little bit myself, like things that I've heard other people say to me about my own chronic illness or just chronic illness in general, like eat more yogurt or whatever, do some yoga. And of course, I would never say that having a healthy lifestyle wouldn't make a difference. I believe it absolutely couldn't hurt eating well. Oh, honey, he's trying to cross and they didn't let him. That's just rude. I'm sorry. Anyway. So, where was I? Where the hell was I? Oh, my Lord, help me, Jesus. Oh, my God. See, if I get distracted one little bit, it goes right out. Let me just see what Pier 1's up to, because, you know, they're going out of business. Now they're up to 30% off. Before they were 10%, so now they're 30%. And Stein Mart's having a clearance blowout. Y'all, these people are going to get me in trouble. I can't be... I'm not looking. Anyway, so, I think I was talking about, things that people say to you when you're chronically ill. And I would never say that having a healthy lifestyle, doing yoga, stretching, exercising, eating the right foods, eating clean, that would not help you, because that would help anyone, any human being, right? With or without a chronic illness. So that would just be stupid to say. The frustration lies in when people think, oh, well, if you just do fill in the blank, then you won't be sick anymore. You know, which feels like victim blaming, feels like, oh, because I had a candy bar the other day, this is why I'm sick. So, and I can assure you, in all the research that I've done, and I was going to share some of that with y'all today, that was part of one of the videos I wanted to do, is a Snickers does not cause small fiber neuropathy. It doesn't cause MS. It doesn't cause ALS. It doesn't cause Guillain-Barré syndrome. It doesn't cause any neuromuscular disorder at all. Okay? Neither does eating a lot of sugar. Again, that's not the healthiest thing for you. Of course not. Would my body feel better if I didn't have all this weight on it? Yes. Thank you so much. But did I gain a lot I was a lot slimmer before, one, I got the chronic illness, and two, menopause. You know, menopause you can't control. It's just going to happen, and every woman will tell you this. There's probably a few magical goddesses out there that didn't have any weight gain with menopause. You know, I'm sure they exist. but I'm not one of those magical goddesses. And I don't even I think it's more of like metabolism just slowing down. And unfortunately, it hit right when I got my diagnosis. And when you're first starting out with your diagnosis, number one, you're trying all these new medications that your doctor's suggesting, because it's your freaking neurologist. It's not just a regular doctor. This is someone that does neuromuscular work. Like it's a I don't know if they're, I guess they could be brain surgeons if they went and did the extra work to be surgeons, but they're one level down from a brain surgeon. Okay. And if my neurologist says, well, let's try this or that or whatever, I'm going to try it, especially in the first few years, because I'm just in pain and all I want is that pain to go away. I'm in pain and I'm scared and I'm tired and I don't know what the future holds. I just know that my life has completely changed because I cannot do anything. And my pain was so bad. And I think part of it's so bad because, humans adapt and they acclimate, right? So after 5+ years, I have adapted and acclimated to that pain. It doesn't mean I don't have it. But I would say instead of it, where it first started out, it was just like I was constantly an 8 or a 9 every day, just an 8 or a 9. And then now I would say my base is like 4, 5, 6, and you just learn to live with it because you have no other choice. I mean, you do have a choice, but I didn't want to make that choice. But it still feels like when people say, well, just do some yoga or whatever, it feels like they're saying, then you'll be fine. You won't have this neuromuscular condition anymore that affects your entire central nervous system, okay? Eating some Activia, okay, and doing some yoga, it's not going to get rid of it. Might it help? Sure. For me in particular, ooh, it's a squirrel. Y'all know I gotta stop. Hold on. Hi, Nut. I call all squirrels nuts. Hi, Nut. Hi. How you doing? I love you. I love you. Yes, I do. All right. You have a good day. Sorry. I love nuts. You know what I mean? Oh, God. I'm such a weirdo. Anyway, so, but as I was saying in the beginning, they prescribed me gabapentin. Well, that put on 35 pounds. And then right in the middle of all that, I'm dealing with menopause, depression, because at the time, I don't know what's going on with me. But when you're trying to walk and you cannot make yourself walk fast, right? Or at whatever speed you want. You can't make your brain, make your legs do that. That is absolutely terrifying. Or when you get to the point where you forget so many things from your past that you're thinking, oh my God, I'm developing early onset dementia or Alzheimer's. So in the beginning, there was a lot going on with me in my mind. And, my first thought wasn't, oh, I better eat some yogurt and do some yoga. I'm not surrounded by people like that. I'm not, those things were coming mostly from people like further out from me, not like the people I live with. Like, I don't live with anyone that does yoga or whatever. And I've tried yoga. I do not have the greatest balance, so for me it's not probably the safest thing for me to try, because every time I tried to do it, I would fall, as I did a few weeks ago. As you know, I can just be standing somewhere and just go boop, and that's it. So but I did a lot of stretching. And the funny thing is that I have not been diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder. But I've had a few doctors, like when I went to some chiropractors, a few of them noticed, first of all, like when I lay on my back, I guess, I did not know this because my feet have never done this, but when you lay back and you have your legs straight out in front of you, your feet like are just like this. They're up like this, right? So like you're laying down and these are your legs and your feet are up like this. Well, apparently, I mean, my feet have always just been like this. And somebody told me that that's unusual. They were like, they used a term, there's a term for it, but it went over my head. I was just like, oh, that's not normal. You know, not everybody's feet do that. And she was like, no, honey. I was like, okay. And then I had another doctor that I went to because of the spasticity that I have in my legs, like 24/7, especially in my thighs and my calves. And so she was helping me, like, in the back of my thighs. Like, I always feel like I just want to, you know how when you do a stretch and you try to, like, pull your thigh to your nose, that kind of thing, to stretch that hamstring? Like, I always feel the need to do that because it feels like that's the only way it loosens that tissue, you know, and it feels good when I stretch it. So she would try to stretch it for me, and like I'd be laying on the table, and so like say I was laying like this, and she just put it up to here, and I'd be like, I need you to push it back here. And she'd be like, what? And I'm like, just keep going, girlfriend, like let's keep going. And she told me, she was like, did you know that you're incredibly flexible? And I was like, what? Who are you talking to? Because I always feel, because my muscles feel so tight, I feel like I'm not like I have no flexibility at all. I feel like a rubber band that, maybe that's not a good analogy. It's the only thing I can think of, though. Like, just like my muscles just feel like they are always like this, scrunched up, instead of this, you know what I mean? And so that's why I'm obsessively always stretching, but it never relieves it. They always feel like they are in a constant state of being contracted. But when you go to touch them, they aren't. Like when I actually contract that muscle, I don't even know if I can do it now. Yeah, when I go to contract that muscle, you can feel the difference, right? But to me, it feels the same on the inside, right? So that's really just my damaged nerve fibers, seed nerve fibers, the ones that are unmyelated, that are damaged and that are saying, oh, your legs are tight or contracting or whatever, or oh, this is, it just sends all kinds of wackadoodle messages to your brain, right? And I don't know how or why, but it's all misfiring, right? But back to what I was saying about diet and everything like that. I would never say that living a healthy lifestyle is detrimental to chronic illness. Absolutely not. It would be beneficial, but it's not a cure, and that is the difference. Now, some people will say, I have seen it, because as I told you, I'm in many, many different groups, and I have seen people that say, well, I cured myself by doing yoga and cutting out sugar and dairy and this and that and la 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 la. And I'm like, and that's great for you. That's your journey. But let's not make the rest of us feel like we're stupid for not doing the same thing, because one, you don't know that we haven't, right? You don't know that someone else hasn't done the same thing you've done for a whole entire year and they had no change. It's different for each and every person, because small fiber neuropathy is a symptom. It is not a disease, and I've said this before. It feels like it is a disease because it is all encompassing. This symptom isn't just one thing, and that's what's so maddening. It's not just tight muscles, right? It affects, especially depending on what kind you have. I have idiopathic, non-length dependent small fiber neuropathy. So that means it affects my entire body, inside and outside, including my autonomic functions. So there are so many symptoms, I couldn't possibly list them all. But if you're in any of those groups, you will see it is so different for each and every person, because each and every person has a different cause, and they have a different body, and their DNA and their cells are going to react differently. Plus, we don't know what kind of medication they're on. We don't know what kind of lifestyle they're living. So my whole point in all of this is really just to say that we need to communicate, one, to our outside world of people, right? The ones that aren't in the condition with us. Educate them to say, listen, thank you so much for caring. I really appreciate it. But what I need to hear from you is just, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. I can't imagine. I love you. I'm here for you. What can I do for you? Is there anything you need? How can I help you? That is what they need. Not just eat more yogurt. And I made a list. I'm working on compiling, because I went to my Facebook groups, my peeps, and I asked them to tell me what's some of the craziest stuff they have been told by family members or friends or whatever about their particular illness, or what kind of advice they've been given, because we just love getting advice. And I got a lot. And I knew I would. Like, I've been reading that stuff for years, because I've given my own out, where I'm like, oh my God, this person said this to me the other day. Hold on. No, I don't want notification. I cannot believe that worked. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. All right. Well, so I didn't think it was going to work, but I have my, what's this thing called? iPad? Cheeto covered iPad, crusty Cheeto dust, courtesy of Hippo. So, and I forgot about it and never cleaned it up. So, but I can still read. So let me get into, I don't know Where's this stuff? Oh, saved. What are you, has it not rolled over? Lord have mercy. I don't think it's rolled over. That's weird. Or maybe I'm not. I don't think I'm in the right one. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm not in the right one. Okay, so technical error, guys. What I may have to, I'm in the wrong Facebook page. I forgot I even had this one. So, and I have no idea how to log into my other one. So, I will figure that out later. My apologies. So, let me just log out of here. And I'll figure out how to get my password to log into my other Facebook page. Because what I did was I saved all of the information, that I collected. Obviously, I'm not going to give any names, but just what these people have heard from their significant others or co-workers, family members, friends. And some of it is really sad. There's a lot of the times I hear, and this is part of why it is so difficult to always stay positive. I am a positive person, and I laugh a lot, and I'm silly, and I'm, all those things. And I've been like that since forever. Hold on, I gotta get a cough drop because, permanent dry mouth. But some of the things that these people have had to endure from family members, and usually it's spouses, and I understand, because being a caregiver is hard. I had to do it for 5 years back in the early 2000s. For about 5 years, my husband was chronically ill with something very serious that required many, many hospitalizations, sometimes for months at a time, home care where like feeding tubes are involved, that kind of stuff. Fortunately, we were blessed that he finally found the right doctors, and knock on wood, it's been, oh God, I don't know, 10 years or so, or more, maybe. Probably more, since that's been an issue. But I know I've been on the other side of it. And this is when I had very young children and a full-time job, but not just full-time job, like I was hustling. So I was working every bit of overtime that I could work. Then I'd go see my husband at the hospital, and then come home, take care of the animals, take care of the kids. And it is an exhaustive battle to try to stay positive, try not to feel resentful, because it's not their fault, but your life changes just as theirs does, and it can, we are humans. And so I think we all need to cut ourselves some slack and just give yourself a few moments to just be angry at the disease. You know, it doesn't mean that you hate your spouse. You hate the situation. You're angry at the situation. You're resentful at the situation. All of those feelings combine, and they make you feel like you're just the worst spouse in the world. You're a piece of shit, because there's so many people out there that paint a picture of, well, all you need is positivity, and if you just have a positive attitude, everything's going to be fine, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, that's not how it works. And so there are moments where I'd get to my husband's hospital room, and I would go, he would be so drugged out of his mind on pain medication, he barely knew I was there, okay? And I was tired, and I was exhausted, and I missed him. I missed his presence in our home. I was scared. And we didn't know if he was going to make it out of this. It was one of those things. And I'd go in the bathroom in his hospital room and just slide down the wall, turn the light off, and sit in utter darkness and just cry. And you have to allow yourself to do those things, to let it out, to purge it, now I'm not saying take that out on your spouse that's sick, right? You don't tell them, I'm mad, I'm sad because of you, or all that stuff. You just do that in private, okay? You know, because again, we don't want to victim blame, but some of the things that these people have been through with their spouses, just telling them, well, I want a divorce, I'm leaving, I didn't sign up for this. It's like, you literally signed up for this. You signed a document that said, no matter what, okay, no matter how bad the shit hits the fan, your ass is going to be here with me. And now you're walking away. And it's not like I don't understand the desire to escape